Hi guys, today we are going to start the mandala project. We're going to measure out our paper and then we are going to start the transfer process. So I'm going to go to my document camera. You're going to need a 12 by 18 inch sheet of paper. The lighter weight one is better, so I think it's 50-pound paper. If you are at home joining us and you are a virtual student, you're going to have to use printer paper, which is going to be much smaller. It's going to be a little bit harder, but it's just, it is what it is. So if you are actually a student that goes to my school, you're going to need to make sure that you have a 12 by 18, the big paper, okay? All right, so I'm going to put my ruler at the top, okay? And I'm going to make a mark at the 12. Because this is going to be a 12-inch by 12-inch piece of paper. The virtual students are going to have an 8.5-inch by 8.5-inch square. I'm going to move my ruler to the bottom. I'm going to make a mark at the 12. And then I'm going to connect those two lines together. I know it's hard to see it in the screen, but I'm going to connect those two lines together. Okay, so there's the top of the paper. There's the bottom of the paper. It's going to be a big square. If it doesn't look like a square, you need to remeasure it because it's probably wrong. Okay, I'm going to cut. And again, the virtual students, this is the exact same process. You're just using a smaller piece of paper. So instead of measuring to 12 inches, I would measure to 8.5 if I was a virtual student. All right, then what we're going to do, I'm going to try to raise this just a little bit. We are going to take this square piece of paper and we're going to fold it so that we can get about a circle. Because normally I have templates in the classroom that I let people trace. But since we can't all touch the template, we're going to have to just make do. So I'm going to take the square. I'm going to fold it over, crease it. I'm going to take this side. I'm going to fold it over. So now it's basically just a smaller square. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into a circle. And it's important that you do this correctly because otherwise you have to get a new piece of paper when you conserve paper. So you are going to make an arc, okay, an arc. And what we're doing is we're cutting off the edges so that we can make a circle. So make sure the edges of the paper at this top left corner, let me see if I can get rid of the exposure a little bit. There. So the top left of the paper should open. So it should be all the open parts. And then the part that doesn't open, the fold, should be at this bottom right-hand corner. So pause the video if yours is not like that and do it. Then you're going to take your pencil and as best as you can, I kind of sketch it like this. You're going to make kind of like an arc. My compass doesn't go that far to make a perfect arc. You could use like a string and a pencil and do it that way. That would work also. But this is just what I'm going to do for now. So I have this kind of arc here. Okay, make sure it's how you want before you cut it. Because once you cut it, you can't go back. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut the edge. Okay. And when I open it, well, I don't want to open it yet. I got to fold it one more time. So I got my pie piece. I want to make smaller pizza. So I fold it over and I crease it real good. As neat as you can. Neatness is important because the more sloppy it is, the harder it is for you to do this project. So it was like this. I folded it over, creased it real good. And then when I open it up, I should get a circle with what I call pie pieces, 8 pie pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now I'm going to take my sketch worksheet, find my sketch worksheet here, okay? And I'm going to figure out which one I picked, and I'm going to go ahead and draw it on here. Now, if we use the lightweight paper, sometimes, it just depends, you can actually place the pie piece on top of the one I did, and line it up and just trace it. It truly depends on if you can see it or not. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to trace it as best as I can. Now, I'm probably going to make this simple so that just for the sake of the video, it's a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to draw it. Once I draw it, I'm actually going to do the next video. That way I don't waste your time. So you're going to draw it on here and then I'll start on the next video.